So here we go. I've picked a creek just close to Weipa. It's not far from Weipa boat ramp, but you could fish in almost any creek around Weipa or Cape York in general. And everyone comes up in winter to visit Cape York because it's the only time you can access it by road and bring your little tinny. And I'm not saying come here and target bream, but I'm saying bring a light rod, because if you want to target bream, this is one of the best places in Australia to catch them. And if you're new to using soft plastics and you'll learn how to catch bream on plastics, then I guarantee you can learn how to catch anything on soft plastics, because bream are really tricky to catch on plastics. You got to go quite light. I've only got a 4-pound line, I've got 8-pound leader, and I'm fishing light and very slow, and it's a real finesse style fishing. I've only got a 1/8 ounce jig head on, but you're going to see today it is a heap of fun. And on really light gear, big bream, like a 30-35 centimeter bream, they go really hard. So this is heaps of fun. And look, I'm every chance of catching a barra or a thready or mangrove jack, fingermark, or other sorts of bycatch, and then you have a little bit of fun on 4-pound line. So check this out. Oh yeah. It's on the super light gear. I've got a threadfin salmon, so good fun. See if I can land him. Oh, it's a good fish. It's not a big thready, it's good fish on this light gear though. Ooh. Redfin salmon, the little tiny creek. He's a little bit small, so I'll let him go, but when they're a bit bigger, geez, they're a great feed. Thank you, champion. Oh, that just smacked me. Didn't think about eating it, just ate it. Oh, what are you? Oh, big bream. Let's go. There you go. These big thumping things. And the old Northern Australian pikey bream. Great fish. Little barra. Another little barra. Hey matey. Whoopsie. I think he came back for a good second, so I won't. The bream by the feel of it. Oh yeah. Cracking fish. Little creek. They're a beautiful fish in these little creeks. He's actually legal size if you wanted to take him home and eat him, and they're a good feed at that size, but I'm going to let him go, but what a fish. There's only one problem with fishing little tiny creeks, is that they are little tiny creeks, and I left a little bit too late trying to get out. And now, marooned again. Not the first time, but anyway. Be for a few hours. Red hot tip. Don't think you know the tides better than the guys that make the tide charts. Yes, catch you out every time. The red reason why I go for such a light leader is this line here I'm showing you now is a 12-pound leader, and you can barely see it out of the water. It almost disappears completely when you go underneath the water. But when I tie on something twice as strong as that, which is this 25-pound leader I'm using, you can see it's a lot more visible out of the water, and even slightly visible when you get it down underneath the water. These two lines, when they're side to side, really show the picture. That light leader is really hard to see, and the fish pick up on it. Now, the reason why you go for a fluorocarbon is you can see when I stand back a little bit, all the sun's reflection in the bottom of the pool makes that leader material disappear because it doesn't reflect back. Good news. Not marooned anymore. Tide's come up a little bit. I floated off. I sat there for about 2 hours. But while I'm waiting for a bit more water to come up the creek so I can actually go back and fish it, I'm just going to fish some man-made structure here, some pylons. Get it in the water. Well, been up wrong. That thing just hit the water and he got pounced on by this guy. That's fantastic. Oh, straight away, what is that? Yeah. Hello. Oh, it's caught. Actually went hard for the cod. Normally they hit hard and don't fight very hard. Get out of there. Get out of it. I got him out. Oh, fingermark. Geez, they go hard, these things. Don't you just hate it when you get to one of your favourite little fishing spots and a crocodile beats you to it? Let me give you a heads up. Bream, barra, salmon, whatever you're chasing, do not like crocodiles. There you are, actually. Yeah. Cut away at the back of it there, that'll have all sorts of growth underneath it. Oh, there's a fish there, grab it straight away. Chicken buggy. Oh, there's a barra too. He went for it. Didn't need for these little tiny guys, but just love the little plastics. It's ready. Look at that. Little tiny hops. And wait for them to grab it. Oh yeah. I think he came back for it the second time. Oh yeah. So while I keep talking about brim fishing, and technically I am brim fishing because this is a technique I used when I used to fish down south where the brim population is really heavily fished, and the only way you'll get brim in good numbers is by doing really light finesse fishing. So adopting the same technique up here on Cape York. So technically, yeah, maybe brim fishing, but I'm chasing barramundi, threadfin salmon, coral trout, fingermark, mangrove jack. Just about anything on this technique will work, especially when the fish is shut down. Ooh. Oh yeah, nice fish. You keep your leader from breaking when you get a really good fish. You get a big barra, mangrove jack or a fingermark or something like that. How do you play it in on a really light leader? One of the most important aspects of fishing really light when you get a good fish, especially once you've pulled it out of structure, is back your drag off a whole heap and keep a really light whippy rod and keep it at a 45-degree angle to the fish. And let's go into my kitchen. I'll show you another experiment, just why you back your drag right off when you have a really light leader. So we're back in my kitchen again doing another experiment, so sorry about that, but to make these points really clear, I reckon it's good to have a visual understanding of exactly what I'm talking about. Now, the reason why we use a really light whippy fishing rod, and I also back the drag off and I run really light drags on the light fishing line, is because what I've got here is 10-pound fluorocarbon, which is even lighter than I was using in this video, but 10 pounds is a good example, and I've got a super sharp kitchen knife here. Now, I'm hanging something fairly light off this 10-pound line, and I can hit it with the fishing knife, with the kitchen knife I should say, and it's taking a fair bit for it to cut through. Eventually it goes. Now that is what I cut all my pumpkins and everything with. It's super sharp, believe me. Now, I'm just going to tie something a lot heavier, which is one of my fry pans on it, and I'll show you what happens. So, moving away from that little egg poacher tray, I've now got the frying pan hanging off this. Now, it's not an overly heavy fry pan, it's not a big massive cast iron frying pan or anything like that, but it is significantly heavier, so it's putting that line under a bit of stress and under a bit of pressure. Now, I hacked away at the egg poacher because it was so light I really couldn't cut through it, but with this, I'm just going to touch it with the knife and it slices straight through it. Now the reason that is the more pressure that this fishing line is under, the tighter it is, the more it's stretched, the easier it is it's going to cut through. So if you run past a fish's gill rakers, the raspy teeth of a fish, or hit a stick or even a pylon or something under the water, if you back that drag right off, use the fishing rod, so don't point the rod at the fish, put it 45 degrees to the fish so it works as a big shock absorber, and that line is under less pressure, it's less likely to cut through and you'll land a lot more fish. I always wondered if a lot of guys think I'm crazy for doing this light finesse brim fishing up in Cape York, but I know a lot of brim fishermen that will spend a lot of money to go to Victoria, fish Gippsland Lakes and Tasmania to fish some of the really big remote brim rivers in Tassie, but come up to Queensland and fish the remote rivers up on Cape York for brim, and oh, I dropped him. And you'll probably get a barra, you'll get fingermark, you'll get jacks, you'll get all sorts of stuff. So I don't know. I don't think I'm crazy. I'm having an absolute ball. There's another one. Oh, missed him. Come on, suck it down.
you.